One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet whom millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Welcome everybody to the Insomniac version of Fanfare. It's 10:30 at night, and I guess if the boss doesn't sleep, I shan't sleep either. I shall keep going for him. God, I don't know how long we'll be here. I guess we'll determine that based upon your comments and what you want to talk about. But I got a bunch of stuff. Most of it, I'd say 95% of what I'm going to tell you is pretty good stuff. I mean, it's actually pretty good. And then there's a couple things that are quite disturbing. You know, everything's going fine. Trump is out there kicking butt, doing what he's got to do. And of course, you got to have somebody out there who's mucking up the ointment, which we're going to talk about. I mean, I can't even believe it. Can't even believe it. But without further ado, let's talk about the good stuff first. The good stuff that I'm talking about is Trump has made a number of appointments or nominations tonight. The last of which, since we'll go backwards, we'll go backwards first. Let me just make sure that you guys can see this. All right, here we go. Statement from Donald J. Trump. I am pleased to announce my intent to nominate former Congressman Doug Collins of Georgia as United States Secretary for Veteran Affairs. Doug is a veteran himself who currently serves our nation as a chaplain in the United States Air Force Reserve Command and fought for our country in the Iraq War. We must take care of our brave men and women in uniform, and Doug will be a great advocate for our active duty service members, veterans, and military families to ensure they have the support they need. Thank you, Doug, for your willingness to serve our country in this very important role. I always liked Doug Collins. I thought he was a good congressman. Not really sure why, he decided not to continue, but he's now going to be the VA, and everyone knows the problems that the VA has had. So hopefully he's somebody who can get in there and clean that mess up. I'm sure once he starts getting in there and looking behind the scenes, he's going to find out a bunch of information as well. And that way Trump and then Elon and Vivek can go through the efficiency and see what the hell is going on there. Next, we have, let's see here. This was an interesting one. I am pleased to announce that Dean John Sauer will serve as Solicitor General of the United States in my administration. John is a deeply accomplished, masterful appellate attorney who clerked for Justice Antonin Scalia in the Supreme Court, served as Solicitor General of Missouri for 6 years, and has extensive experience practicing before the U.S. Supreme Court and other appellate courts. Okay, so remember that. Most recently, John was the lead counsel representing me in the Supreme Court of Trump versus United States, winning a historic victory on presidential immunity, which was key to defeating the unconstitutional campaign of lawfare against me and the entire MAGA movement. John was a Rhodes Scholar, graduated from Duke, also went to Oxford, and is magna cum laude graduate of Harvard Law. John will be a great champion for us as we make America great again. That's extremely interesting. So the guy who basically fought for Trump in the Supreme Court that got the immunity ruling is now going to be part of the Trump administration. The chess pieces are starting to align very clear here. With what Trump wants to do, he probably understands, hey, listen, we're going to go up against these people once again. We're going to probably be in front of the Supreme Court, and I want the guy who fought and knows how these judges act, how the Supreme Court justices act. He now knows who they are. He knows who the players are, what they like to see, what they don't like to see, how they like to be spoken to. He knows all that. He just won the immunity suit with Trump. Now he's going to be inside the administration. Big pickup. Huge pickup. Next, talking about bringing in attorneys that he's had on the outside. Here's another attorney he's bringing in who is on the outside. This is Todd Blanche. Todd Blanche was the guy who was representing him up in New York with the Judge Merchan trial. I am pleased to announce that Todd Blanche will serve as Deputy Attorney General in my administration. So he is second chair to hopefully Matt Gaetz. Todd is an excellent attorney who will be a crucial leader in the Justice Department, fixing what has been a broken system for far too long. Todd prosecuted gangs, remember that one, and other federal crimes as a chief in the Southern District of New York, United States Attorney's Office. He clerked for 2 federal judges and graduated with honors from law school while working full-time at the Southern District of New York. Todd is going to do a great job as we make America great again. I am also hereby announcing that Emil Bove will serve as Principal Associate Deputy Attorney General in my administration, and as Acting Deputy Attorney General, as Blanche is in the process of being confirmed by the Senate. Emil is a tough and strong attorney who will be a crucial part of the Justice Department, rooting out corruption and crime. Emil prosecuted terrorists and international, you see that, I can't say the word, as chief of the National Security Unit in the Southern District of New York of the United States State's Attorney's Office, clerked for 2 federal judges, and graduated with honors from Georgetown University Law Center. All right. So, what you're seeing Trump do right now is put together the inner circle of lawyers that he's going to have working with him. And these people, for the most part, have been working with Trump for quite some time, fighting and helping him fight the legal battles that he's had to navigate while he was being pursued by Merrick Garland and with Alvin Bragg and Letitia James. So they got to know the lay of the land. They obviously know the Southern District of New York. They've been prosecuting crimes against gangs, i.e. the Tres Leches. He's going to go after them. And all these people would be working under Matt Gaetz, assuming Matt Gaetz is going to be the Attorney General. If you watched my video earlier today, one of the things I said about Matt Gaetz is the Attorney General doesn't do the work. The Attorney General isn't in the trenches, and they're not the ones who are doing the cases and prosecuting. That's these guys. That's these guys doing it. Matt Gaetz would basically be like Merrick Garland and, overseeing which cases to actually take up, which cases not to take up, who we're going to prosecute based upon certain evidence. These guys are the pit bulls who jump in there and actually, do the work. You will not see, just as you have not seen Merrick Garland, you will not see Matt Gaetz prosecuting a case. That's just not how it works. So all the stuff that you're hearing and all the people that are screaming out there, it's all BS. Why they're afraid of Matt Gaetz. So I hope you get that. And then one that's not in here, interesting, but it did happen, and I've been trying to refresh. He signed Doug Burgum as a Secretary of the Interior. Not sure why that's not showing up. But it's not been filed here. Let me see if I can find it so I can show it to you. Hold 1 second. Hold on. Hold the door. Let me see if I can find someone who's got it posted so we can see the actual press release. What's her name? Carolyn Levitt. There she is down here. See if she posted it. Searching. Okay, here. No, it's Doug Collins. And nobody has posted it. Interesting. Well, he announced tonight that Doug Burgum would be his choice for the Secretary of the Interior. They're having a big, or had, I'm not sure if it's still going on, but they had a big event down in Mar-a-Lago, and I'm going to show you some video from it. But let me just see if they say anything about Burgum, if it's elsewhere here. Because I heard... Yeah, okay. He didn't put out a press release because he's at the event, but we do have this right here where it says, congratulations to Trump below announces the nomination of Governor Doug Burgum as Secretary of the Interior. What's interesting about that is both Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota, and Burgum, the governor of North Dakota, both those two governors are now going to be working in Trump's administration. It says that congratulations to Doug Burgum on his nomination to be Secretary of the Interior. Excellent choice, reflects his commitment to American energy independence. Burgum's expertise will help lower energy costs for families, cut needless red tape, and restore U.S. energy dominance while balancing conservation efforts. A win for all Americans. So, and that was at 8:56. As you can see, Trump has been extremely busy doing all these different things. Let's show you some other news here. As you know, or should know by now, we announced it earlier when it came out during our 3 o'clock show. Yeah. RFK Jr. is now going to be the Secretary of Health and Human Services. Some interesting information came out about that. This is breaking. RFK Jr. revealed that President Trump's DOJ, Matt Gaetz, will launch RICO investigations and prosecute the collusion between medical boards, medical journals, and Big Pharma. I hope the Secret Service has got things covered because, oh my God, Trump is literally, it's no longer hand grenades. He's firing bazookas at all these targets. Understand now, you got the Doge guys, DOGE, who are going to be looking at where the money is and what do you do here and looking to change things. And now RFK Jr. is already admitting they're not going to. This is an investigation that they're contemplating. He said RFK Jr. will launch RICO investigations and prosecute the collusion between medical boards, medical journals, and Big Pharma. That's a lot. So the DOJ, headed by Matt Gaetz and the other attorneys who he just announced, which I showed you, are going to work hand in hand with RFK Jr. to go after the medical boards, the hospitals, and Big Pharma. Man, I can't even imagine, and I hope you can imagine, how devastating what's about to happen to Washington is happening. if that makes sense. It's late. Give me a break. Sorry. Everything that they've worked and has been business as usual, and whatever corruption and collusion that they've done, who's gotten this payoff, who's gotten that payoff, who's in so-and-so's back pocket, is all about to be exposed. No wonder they are freaking out. They must be going out of their mind. Everything that he can get his hands into and rip apart, i.e. deep state, everything he can get his hands into, Trump is now saying, you take care of that. Obviously, they've been talking about it. You just don't decide one day, hey, listen, you know what, let's go ahead and do a RICO investigation against all these medical things. And we're going to find out who's connected. The medical boards who approve different drugs and different processes and how things are diagnosed against medical journals who publish the information and say, this is what we're going to say is a good thing to do. And then here's Big Pharma, who just happens to have the thing you can stick in your arm to take care of this thing that the medical journal now says that the medical board should be taking care of. We're talking billions. Absolute billions. Kind of money that people get disappeared for. And Trump is letting them all know. And I'm sorry, right now, if you have a 401k or anything tied to a pharmaceutical stock, I slept at a Holiday Inn once. I'm not an accountant and I'm not a financial planner, but it might be a good idea to get rid of that stock. I'm just saying. You could hold on to it, but I'm pretty sure we've seen some of these medical stocks take a complete butt whooping today. Let me check a couple of the big ones and see what their stock prices are doing. Bet you Nancy Pelosi, ooh yeah, Pfizer is down 2.6. Oh, you got to see this graph. I got to show this to you. This is flipping phenomenal. This is crazy. When you look at a stock chart and it's doing this. Hold on one second, because damn, look at that. Right about, I don't know, 330, it fell off. At 325, it fell off a cliff. What happened at 325? Well, I can tell you because I was on the air. RFK Jr. got named as the Secretary of Health and Human Services. So you're just going along all day. Things are fine. Oh, we're okay. And what is this we're hearing? Oh, RFK Jr. Bam. This is one of those instances where I wouldn't necessarily buy the dip. This one, I might wait a little bit. That was the intraday. When you look at the 5-day, it's even more drastic. Look at that. And if you go out for 30 days, that, my friends, is called a trend line. And that was only since 330. So tomorrow when they open, when I say they, when the stock market opens, I hope you're not sitting on that roller coaster, because it's only going down. It's going to go down hard. That's Pfizer. Let me see if I can see the other one. Let's look at some of these things. Oh my goodness, that is just crazy. Ooh. Oh, this is Moderna. Moderna. Look at the cliff. What time was that? Oh, 3:30. Boom. Boom. You want to go out to the 5-day, and you go out to the 1 month, and again. So tomorrow, I would call whoever manages your 401k. If you do your own day trading, you might want to get out of this, because this kind of information that is being posted, breaking, they're letting you know. They're letting them know we're going to be coming after you. We're going to be digging up your butts. Big Pharma, we're coming. What do you think's going to keep happening to that stock? Just by them announcing it. So obviously Big Pharma is going to throw any kind of money they can at any other Trump opposition opponent. I mean, a politician. Maybe that's where John Thune, and maybe that's where Cornyn might get some money, because they're toast. They know what they've done. We lived through the entire jabademic. We understood what was going on, and now look at you. Look at you now. You're about to you're about to meet your maker. Oh, it's so funny. Look at somebody wrote here. RFK needs some serious Secret Service protection. We're entering into a whole new realm of FAFO at this point, which I think you guys know. Then I just happened to see this one. Oh my goodness. FDA employees are threatened to quit with RFK coming in as their boss. I'm sorry, but what the hell is wrong with trying to make America healthy again? Just shows you how deep the big pharma corruption goes. This is some serious stuff. These people are willing to like walk off ledges at this point because of what's happening. This happened 2 hours ago. DEI employees threaten to quit over Secretary of Defense Hegseth. FDA employees threaten to quit over RFK Jr. DOJ employees threatening to quit over a Gaetz appointment. At this rate, Elon and Vivek won't have to fire anybody. They'll all be gone. We're about to see a full-scale mutiny in the federal government. Does that make any sense to you? Not to me. I'm trying to think, why would just him coming in make you want to quit? See, what you just did by saying you want to quit because he's going to be the new secretary of HHS, and you didn't mind following that other nut job who dresses up like a woman, that was fine. Oh yeah, we're good. But now this guy's coming in. What did you do that makes you think I need to bail? You're putting a target on yourself. You should have just shut up. You should have said, hey, this is going to be great. We're going to have a great time with RFK Jr. working here. And in the meantime, I'm sending my resume out to everybody I possibly can. And I'm hitting the button, send. Hey, what's great? It's great working here. Now, you idiots, I'm like, wait, you want to quit just because I'm coming in? Why would that be a problem? What have you been doing that makes me want to take a look at you? Crazy, absolutely crazy. I love this one. God forbid we let RFK Jr. be in charge of HHS, otherwise he might do something crazy, like fund experimental gain-of-function research in a laboratory and cause a you-know-what. Obviously, satire, because the other guy did that. Now, you put all that together, and this is what you see at Mar-a-Lago tonight. Those of you who don't know, that man is Javier Milei, the president of Argentina. The one who, not this, and he took all the things off the board, and that was it. We're done. He's down at Mar-a-Lago in this big ritzy event, and he's down there talking to Elon and Trump and Vivek and outlining how he went through and basically eviscerated what would be the equivalent of the deep state in Argentina. Things ain't looking well. Things are not going well at all for the deepers. I'll just call them the deepers. That way people here won't get mad. The deepers, we'll call them that. And every time you refresh something else is happening. So I had to make that thumbnail with Trump sitting there. It's dark outside and he's still doing stuff, even though he's down at Mar-a-Lago and they're having fun at this event, and he's killing it. So let me take a couple comments before I go into the next part of this, because I'm going to show you some videos and things of that nature so you can actually see what's going on. Screw the deepers. Yeah. He's starting to look like he got turned into a monkey during July. Oh, you're talking about Javier Milei. Love the deepers. Viva la revolution. Hell yeah, it's coming. Burgum will be formally announced tomorrow because Trump did it on stage. They are laughing at his picks on MSNBC. They're laughing at his picks on MSNBC because they don't want to really let people know how they feel. I wonder if he brought his chainsaw. Oh man, it's gonna get good. It's really going to get good. I'm loving the cast in this movie. It's crazy. Barry, you want to go halvesing on an underwear stand outside the Capitol? Oh, the underwear ain't gonna make it. We're gonna have to get some Depends. Big jumbo Depends. You know, the kind you just step into so you can just let it go. It is indeed getting kind of bad. 5 days a week in the office? No? Well, you're out. You're fired. Yeah. So, what somebody has here, I'm going to come back to it. Tim Scott's a piece of crap. Tim Scott. Well, you know what? I got some good stuff to show you. So let's just talk about Tim Scott. So, Tim Scott spent months out there on the campaign tour with, Trump, talking about how Trump's great, make America great again. And then yesterday when they did their song and dance talking about the how the majority leader was put together, and how the majority leader was going to try and work with Trump to basically push his recess appointments there, and Tim Scott, yeah, we're going to do this. Tim Scott, you're a piece of crap. You're a turncoat. Somebody paid you some money. Let me get this foul taste out of my mouth right now. Let me just get it. Let me just spit up about Tim Scott. Let's get through this so we never have to mention his name again. Piece of crap that he is. Literally, piece of crap. I would use a stronger word, but it's late and I'm tired. And I'm tired of these people. I'm tired of these deep state puppets. Breaking news. What time did this come out? This came out at 8 o'clock. Newly elected National Republican sucker-you-know-what chairman Tim Scott is hiring Stephen DeMora, a huge Trump hater, and Mike Pence's 2024 campaign manager to be the Senatorial Committee's executive director. DeMora will have massive control over which Senate candidates to fund. Okay. Scott promised to help Trump fulfill his promises, and only a day after getting voted to lead the GOP Senate's bank account, he's hiring a never-Trumper who will only help neocon establishment candidates win. What is going on with Tim Scott? This is the most disgusting 180 in the history of 180s. Why pick a backstabber like DeMora to direct Senate funding? Because he's a paid-for shill. That's the answer to your question. Somebody brought the bag to him, and he felt that at this point, the usefulness with Trump isn't as important as taking the bag. He sold out. Tim Scott, I called it yesterday. Those of you who watched my show, when I saw them doing the interview, I said to you right then and there, I said, did you notice that none of them, including Tim Scott, who was out on the campaign trail, none of them said, make America great again. Not a single one of them. All 6 of them spoke. None of them said, make America great again. In fact, they danced around it. So now, Tim Scott, you're dead to me. And I think he should be dead to all of you. At this point, Tim Scott should be given a cold shoulder, or worse. At this point, I think Matt Gaetz needs to go look up Tim Scott's butt. Trump needs to just, man, you dodged a bullet. Maybe that's why he got pissed off, because he wasn't getting named to one of the cabinet positions. He probably wanted one, And Trump said, no, sorry, Tim, I don't have one for you. And immediately the next day, not even 24 hours later, he decides he's going to backstab Trump. Trump, you made a good move. This guy's a piece of crap. This is the kind of guy that you just want to take out back. An absolute piece of crap. Thune won. Yeah, Thune won. They knew what they were trying to do. We have a bunch of senators to primary. Elon's going to be a busy man. Need to take out both senators in South Carolina. Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham. They both need to go. Judas in the making. He's Judas. Wow, Tim Scott, hard to believe. You're going to bring in Mike Pence. Mike Pence's guy to control the purse strings for the Senate under Trump. Trump delivers you guys the majority in the Senate. The majority. And all you have to do is not be a complete a-hole and mess it up. All you have to do is just ride the ship, make sure. Now you have to wonder. And Trump has to wonder, if he already knew. But at this point you have to wonder, are any of his nominees ever going to get Senate approved? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now Trump's, I'm sure he role played it. I'm sure he gamed it and said, you know what if they don't do any of my people? What if I can't get anything done? What do I do? And I'm pretty sure Trump said, yeah, I'm going to have to move forward without him. And now it actually is going to be that way. I mean, it's incredible in regards to what they're doing to him. I want to show you something. I had bookmarked an article. Not an article, but it was an actual post. And I was trying to do some research on it, but I want to give you guys the information on this so you guys can read it yourself. Okay, let me just put this up, because I find this to be extremely interesting. I want you to check this out and read along with me, because I didn't know this. I'm going to have to research it tomorrow. It's something that you guys can research as well. Okay, ready for this one? Let me move this comment. Announcement. Just in case you don't know what's going on here, Trump is the greatest civics teacher in our country's history. This is all about, quote, Senate confirmation and whether or not it is even constitutional. You intrigue me. Please tell me more. Trump is literally nominating every single person that the enemy hates, and almost all of them are being accused of being not qualified. This is purposeful, this guy is saying. Trump wants this fight. Okay, I could agree with that. He knows that this was going to be a fight, so he's like, I want it. He wants it to be very public. Yeah, Trump doesn't back down from a fight, and he would have no problem getting bloody with everybody out in public. I agree with that. Why? This is where it gets interesting. The power belongs to the people, and he just won a massive mandate. All of these candidates now get to be contrasted with the, quote, preferred candidate of the establishment. Okay, I'll play along, but it's way more than that. This fight is over whether or not a president gets to choose his own cabinet to run the executive branch. Now I'm really interested. And understand, you should be interested because of all the people he just appointed today. The attorneys that he appointed who work with the Supreme Court. What is he getting at here? All right, let's continue and look at this. Separation of powers. Congress will no longer be able to prevent a president elected by the people from fulfilling his promises by appointing the people he needs in place. Now you really got my attention. What in the hell are you talking about? Go back in history, my friends. The Senate has encroached on the executive branch powers in regards to appointments. All right, now we're going to have a history lesson, which I'm sure Trump loves because he went back and looked at 1798. And when he looked at 1798, he found this old law that says I can go ahead and deport all these newcomers. So I'm thinking, I'm following you here, bud. Trump knows quote, quoted, "The framers of the Constitution granted the Senate and the President shared power to appoint judges and civil officers. That shared power remains in place, but the way in which the Senate has exercised that power has changed over the course of its history. In the first decade, the Senate established the practice of senatorial courtesy, in which senators expected to be consulted on all nominees to federal posts within their states. This influence over filling federal jobs empowered senators, and many became leaders of the political parties that emerged in the early 19th century." Okay, I'm following. By the late 19th century, however, presidents and senators began to clash over control of these lower-level positions, prompting some to call for reform of the nomination process. Okay, we're getting in the weeds here. Reformers who distrusted the power of political parties sought to reduce the number of positions subject to political patronage and the advice and consent of the Senate, pushing instead for legislation expanding the professional civil service. Despite these efforts, as the federal government grew in size in the 20th century, the number of appointments subject to Senate confirmation continued to grow until the 80s, when Congress passed legislation that has gradually reduced the number of positions requiring confirmation. I didn't know that. And he quotes, and he's got a link to, the senatorial powers, and he says it started out as, quote, senatorial courtesy, not Senate approval. Trump is taking us back to the original Constitution, my friends. This is the opening salvo of reining in congressional encroachment on the executive branch. If that's true, if that is indeed what Trump is doing, and I noticed this guy quoted it because it was part of that link I showed you, then we're about to see a fight like no other fight. In addition to the recess appointments, what this guy is alleging, based upon the statutes and stuff that he's read, is that Senate approval has been basically just co-opted. That it's actually courtesy. Hey, this is the guy I'm picking. I don't care if you like him. This is who we're going with. Deal with it. I don't need your approval. So at which point, I started looking. Is there anything in the Constitution that says it's required to be approved, a cabinet position? Or have we just gone along and assumed that's what it's supposed to be? It's customary. I'm not a constitutional lawyer. I'm not going to pretend to be, but I think we're about to find that as a issue that is going to have to be adjudicated with who? The Supreme Court. I think Trump is trying to bust that up. The man's a genius. He knew where he was going with this. If that is true, if he is going to assert the claim that you don't have the power to hold up my appointees. If he's going to get out there and actually tell people, I don't really care what you think. They're going to go, what do you mean? We get to have approvals. No, actually you don't. I'm going to make this fight. I'm going to make it the fight. And that fight is going to be that you don't have any approval, statutory approval, no constitutional approval to approve my nominees. You ready for that fight? And when they start feverishly looking through the Constitution, they better hope it says that the approval shall be by the Senate. If it doesn't say that explicitly, Trump's going to tell these people go kiss his butt. And then you're really going to see some stuff explode. Because it won't be until that moment will they realize that Trump is destroying the Democrat Party and truly eviscerating the deep state. Again, I'm not a constitutional lawyer. I won't even begin to analyze that because we're talking deep down in the Constitution. We're talking go into the, lower annals and books and go deep into the Constitution and see if you can find out, wait, does he got an argument here? He just hired two of the best people to go in front of the Supreme Court, the guys who got him the immunity. So I'm thinking that those guys have already told him that. See, I don't know. I don't have a law degree, and I definitely don't have a constitutional law degree, but those guys do. The guys he just hired? Yeah, they do. Why would you announce attorneys and solicitors this far in advance? I couldn't even tell you who Biden's solicitors are. Couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you who Obama's solicitors were back then. But here we know Trump's before he's even taken office. We already know who Trump's lawyers are who will go to the Supreme Court. What is the timing of this? Why did you mention this now? You don't even get inaugurated until January 20th. If this guy is right, now we know why. He is an opening salvo. He's letting them know in no uncertain terms, I'm about to destroy you. I don't know if we have any lawyers in the room, but I would love to know. Trump is playing chess with these guys. Yeah, again, legalize dueling. Yeah, get out there and just take a shot. Trump doesn't waste any time. And when I read that today, somebody said something really interesting. This makes a lot of sense. He has had 4 years to war game this. He has a plan already worked out. That's a gold star comment right there. Article 2, Section 2 requires confirmation but does not specify what specific appointments. Ooh, you may have just found a loophole. It doesn't say Attorney General, doesn't say this or that. If it doesn't say, somebody says Mark Levin is probably advising him on constitutional law. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they have had all this strategized already. Let these idiots go ahead and run around and make comments on television and talk crap. Yeah, that's what they do. You guys go ahead and do that. Meanwhile, I've been sitting here. You think you've had me stuck in courtrooms and stuff, right? Is that what you think? You had me stuck in courtrooms for like the last year, and look at me. I'm sitting here. Oh, it's freezing in this courtroom. Yeah, these people have no idea what's going on. While you're looking at me, while you're sitting out there looking at me sitting in court, all upset. Oh, Trump's falling asleep in court. Oh, Trump's not paying attention. Meanwhile, you got guys out here doing all kinds of shit, don't you? You never seen it coming. You remember the movie Goodfellas with Ray Liotta and who else was there? De Niro, the idiot, and Joe Pesci. And he's running around and he's trying to make the pasta and he sees the helicopters and somebody walked up to the car and put a gun to it and said, "Don't move, dirtbag." And what did he say there? He said, I knew it was the cops because it was the wise guys. I would have never seen it coming. They would have just taken me out. It just reminds me as I started reading this is like, y'all were making fun. Just like somebody said, oh, they're laughing at Trump on MSNBC. What an idiot. Oh, he's falling asleep in court. Oh, yeah, he probably was sleeping in court because it was probably just the most outrageously boring thing he had ever seen. I'm just going to sit here for 8 hours. Can't do anything. Meanwhile, right about now, these guys are tearing into the Constitution, and they're going to give me a report when I get out of here. I'm sure they had all this strategized. Yeah, 4 years. Barry Trump has had 4 years to get all the right information that he needs to do what he's going to do. I would... This is absolutely delicious. The Dems are going down. And again, don't believe... I'm not a lawyer. I'm just reading what that guy said, and then somebody said they went ahead and they pulled the statute, and it doesn't specify which appointments. That's a cavernous Holland tunnel loophole that any really good constitutional lawyer is going to say, I understand, Justice Alito and Justice Thomas. Yeah, I understand that it's been customary, but here, Your Honor, is the Constitution. And it doesn't say it. It doesn't say that this person has to be confirmed. It doesn't say all. It doesn't say how many. It just says, yeah, how do you interpret this? And you're going to leave it up to those guys? Yeah. Gaetz quit his day job knowing it was coming. I'm just wondering. Another thought. Trump is exposing all the rats. Somebody said, where'd that go? Trump. It went too fast. Trump is exposing all the rats before January. Yeah, if these people are talking about they're going to quit, just to let you know. Okay, here it is. Article 2, Section 2, Clause 2, Barry, he can't do it. I don't know. And when you say he can't do it, are you a constitutional attorney? Because something's up. I mean, yesterday these people didn't know what a recess appointment was. So I don't know. I'm just telling you what some people are reading here. And if, even if I pulled it up and looked at it, I can't argue with it because, let's look at it. Article 2, let's look at the actual words. Article 2, Section 2, Clause 2. And here's the problem with it. You and I looking at this, it don't really matter because we don't know what we're looking at unless you're a constitutional attorney. Article 2, clause, advice and consent. Okay, let's look at this. Even the title of that's kind of vague to me. All right, let's look at this and see if we can't come up with this ourselves in terms of what it says. Again, I don't want to mislead anybody. I don't know. This is just us looking at this and trying to see if we can glean anything from it. Doesn't mean anything. No, don't say Barry said. I'm just... Okay, they're talking about the president, right? The president. Okay, so he, meaning the president, shall have power by and with the advice and consent of the Senate to make treaties, provided 2/3 of the senators concur, semicolon, and he shall nominate and by and with the advice consent of the Senate shall appoint ambassadors, other public ministers and consuls, judges of the Supreme Court, and all other officers of the United States whose appointments are not herein otherwise provided for, and which shall establish by law, but the Congress may by law vest the appointment of such inferior office as they think proper in the president alone. That's the part when I read that I didn't understand. I mean, I understand what I'm reading, but this part, may by law vest the appointment of such inferior officers as they think proper in the president alone. I don't know what that means. It's interesting that somehow they're looking in here and maybe they're not considering, I don't even want to speculate. As a minister and counsel, are they going to address that and say that these people aren't ministers and counsels? All other officers of the United States? I don't know. But I do know something's going on. There's a reason why these people are freaking out. There's a reason why something is happening. And I am not a constitutional law attorney. These guys probably make $1,000 an hour. They probably can recite this stuff off the back of their heads. They probably know every nook and cranny of this. But what I do know, something's happening. That's for sure. Trump set out the bait, and the crooks are taking it. Yeah, Barry, as you said yesterday about Trump's appointments, don't be so quick to critique, but rather trust Trump, as the vast majority of American voters did. He knew what he was getting into. That's basically what you're saying. He knew at this point that these people were going to freak out. He had to have known. There's no way. Hey, my attorney general nomination is Matt Gaetz. He had to have known. All of us went, oh shit, as soon as we heard it. And we're not even in Washington. We all know it's like, oh my God, did he just nominate who I think he did? Yeah. Pete Hegseth. Oh my God, did he? So if we knew, obviously this man knew. He had to have known what it was going to do. I don't know. Get some extra popcorn. Enjoy the show. Speaking of shows, let's look at what happened in Mar-a-Lago today. Tonight they had an event, and none other than Mr. King of Tulsa himself, Sylvester Stallone. Not only did he speak to the crowd, but he pretty much let everybody know Trump's the man.
When I did Rocky, if you remember, the first image was a picture of Jesus, and it says Resurrection AC Club. I found a church that had been converted to a boxing ring. So the image pans down from Jesus onto Rocky being hit. And at that moment, he was a chosen person, and that's how I began the journey. Something was going to happen. This man was going to go through a metamorphosis and change lives, just like President Trump.
For those of you who don't know, Sylvester Stallone, another person who left Hollywood. I'm out. He moved his whole family down here to South Florida. I'm just saying, things happen for a reason. The guy's, he's made a ton of money. Probably one of the few people who's made 2 movie franchises. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna, yeah, you guys are so quick. The 2 movie franchises, you guys already said it, Rocky and Rambo. The man created 2 franchises. I don't even know how many Rambo movies were. Son of Rambo, who knows? And then there was like 19 Rocky movies. I mean, so, and he created himself. He wrote Rocky. He was a broke boxer type thug in Philadelphia. And he wrote it, and it took off, made a good movie. Then he made like 19 of them. And then he decided he's going to do this Vietnam vet crazy guy, Rambo. And he made a bunch of those. Salute. American dream there. Let's continue to Sly.
We are in the presence of a really mythical character. I love mythology. And this individual does not exist on this planet. Nobody in the world could have pulled off what he pulled off, so I'm in awe. And I'll just say this, and I mean it. When George Washington defended his country, he had no idea that he was going to change the world. Because without him, you can imagine what the world would look like. Guess what? We got the second George Washington. Congratulations!
Relax. We have a...
We have the second George Washington. Oh, Sly, you just destroyed the entire Hollywood's going nuts right now. I know you're A-list, but they're going to try and demote you, and you probably don't give a F. Love it. Love it. So let's continue. This is Trump speaking here.
Man who has a seriously high IQ. You know, I'm a person that believes in high IQs, and his is about as high as they get. He launched a rocket 3 weeks ago, and then he went to Pennsylvania to campaign because he considered this more important than launching rockets that cost billions of dollars. Elon Musk. Elon. What a job.
Did you guys know there was an America First Policy Institute? Neither did I. But they had a gala tonight. The America First Policy Institute. Okay.
What a job he does. He's a great, and he happens to be a really good guy. You know, he likes this place. I can't get him out of here. He just likes this place. And you know what? I like having him here, too. He's good. He's done a fantastic job. Really an incredible mind, and he's an unbelievable entrepreneur, sort of everything. I'm asking him, what do you do best? And we were not able to figure it out, but it's a lot of things. We have a big announcement.
Trump is a natural comedian, host. I mean, there'll never be another guy like him in terms of running for president. It's just not there. You can't teach his delivery and how he talks to people. He's done so many of these gala events. He's completely at home. Just completely at home. But the interesting part about that is, has Elon left his side in the last 2 weeks? I mean, he's everywhere Trump goes. He's like Trump's bodyguard at this point. He goes to Washington to meet with Joe. I'm here. And it's driving the media crazy. At this point, they've accused him of being a co-president. You know, Elon's everywhere. Why is Elon even here? I don't know. You see, that's something else I would love to find out. I would love to hear what you guys... Why is Elon with him everywhere he goes? He's like Luca Brasi, but he's not a gangster. So why is Elon with him every single place he goes? He has not left his side. As he said, he hasn't left Mar-a-Lago since Trump was elected. So that's at least, the 5th was the election. So we're talking 10 days. Man hasn't gone anywhere. I'm right here with you, boss. I'm right here. What are we doing next? I see J.D. Vance flying around. I see J.D. Vance going to me. Elon's right with him. What could they possibly be doing? Joined at the hip. Yeah. So Paul Pulaski says, you mean the most brilliant man on the planet is the president-elect's ear? Call me crazy for not having a problem. Oh, no, you're right. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. I'm just wondering, what in the heck is he doing? That's all. That's what I just questioned was solely inquisitive. Like, what's he doing? Why is this guy with Trump everywhere he goes? He would, a billionaire, nearly a trillionaire, would not be wasting his time just going, hey, can I come to this fancy meeting? Can I come here? You heard of what he did today, didn't you? I don't know how many of you guys were on my show earlier, but found this quite interesting. Interesting if you guys haven't heard it. So he's obviously coming back and reporting to Trump on things that he finds out. I want you to look at this breaking news. This was actually breaking earlier around 5 p.m. Let me get rid of this comment so you can see this. So at 5 p.m., the New York Times posts, breaking news, Elon Musk, a top advisor to President-elect Donald Trump, met with Iran's UN ambassador to discuss defusing the Iranian-U.S. tensions during the next Trump term. 2 Iranian officials told New York Times. You guys have seen The Godfather, right? You remember Tom? Tom was like the stepson or whatever, and he was the consigliere. And then Tom got pushed out because he wasn't a wartime consigliere. Elon Musk must be a wartime consigliere. I mean, so this guy was wherever. Were they up in New York? Not really sure. He was, and tonight he's back down here and he's talking to Trump about, hey, listen, okay, here, let's look at the. I can't see the article because they buried it behind a paywall, and I am not paying the New York Times a dime, so that ain't gonna happen. But anyway, somebody posted this. How many Elons are there? How can he do everything, be everywhere, and run several companies? That's a good question. How is he talking to the Iranians about cutting out the shit that they're doing? Stop trying to kill Trump. We've had enough of it. What does Elon even know what to say to the Iranians? Yeah, that's a shit-eating grin. What did Trump say to the mullah? And he goes, is this your house? Is that where you live, man? Well, if you don't knock it off, I'm going to blow up everybody in that damn house. So maybe the Avenger guys, I know where your wife is. I know where your kids are. I know where your money is. I got it all right here. If I hit this button, if I just push this button right here, all this goes to zero. And your house blows up, and your wife blows up, and your kid blows up, and you'll disappear. I wouldn't want to be, as somebody said, I wouldn't want to be messing with the richest man in the world who happens to be a tech genius. You know those rockets I got flying around? Would you like to catch one? Because I can park a rocket. Maybe I park that rocket right on your flipping head. I don't know. Again, Elon is with him for extra security plus. Elon's not a bodyguard. Does he speak Iranian? I don't know. I think he speaks green. Lies, they gotta get you. Elon can probably track anyone. Good point. That's what I'm saying. Elon needs Trump extra security. But he wasn't with him. He was up in New York talking to the Iranians. Okay. And now he's back in Mar-a-Lago, talking to Trump. He's sitting there in the dinner. And there's a reason why he introduces him as well. There's no reason why he had to. You think about it. There's probably a room full of people. Oh, yeah, my buddy Elon over here. Can't get rid of him. He's everywhere I go. Why are you announcing that? I don't know. And I'm not being coy. I really don't know. I'm really searching for answers. I'm not trying to be cute and go, oh, Barry's just no. I would love to know why Elon is attached to the hip to the president-elect. I don't mind it, but I would really love to know what these guys are cooking up. Okay, so let's continue.
And I won't tell you the name of his, the exact name. I think he's an incredible person. Got an unbelievably wonderful wife named Catherine. So I won't tell you his name. It might be something like Burgum. He's from North Dakota. He's going to be announced tomorrow for a very big position. So everybody's waiting. There he is.
This guy's just playing with the Democrats at this point. Literally making jokes. Oh, yeah, this guy's going to have a big position tomorrow. That's why I couldn't find it. He hasn't announced it yet. He's just teasing people. Yeah, this guy, sounds like Burgum. Yeah. Love this guy, man.
Hi, Doug. He's going to be announced tomorrow, and we have somebody else that's probably coming up with him to be announced who's a big one. And we're going to do things with energy and with land, interior, that is going to be incredible. And so I look forward to doing the formal announcement, although this is a pretty big announcement right now. Actually, he's going to head the Department of Interior, and he's going to be fantastic. Good, Doug. Congratulations, Catherine. But we'll make the formal announcement tomorrow.
Good night, everybody.
For those of you who don't know, this is Javier Milei, the president of Argentina. The one who took his country from like a 27% inflation rate down to like 1.6 just by destroying his version of the deep state and destroying his version of all these agencies. And he just happens to be down in Palm Beach with Elon. And I'm sure Vivek isn't too far behind. So what happens when you pulled the plug on these guys? And what happened when you pulled the plug on them? They got it all. They know what they're doing. Let's listen to what he has to say.
I'm very grateful for staying here. I am feeling blessing. I will do my speech in Spanish, but I have a very big, very good interpreter. And then, sorry, but I will speak in Spanish. Todos mis discursos comienzan con hola a todos. Hello everybody.
Speeches start with hello everyone.
Muchas gracias. Gracias por hacerme parte de este evento tan importante y por permitirme hablar aquí entre ustedes que son unos verdaderos gigantes.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this major event and for giving me the opportunity to speak here among all of you, you who are true giants.
Quiero comenzar primero felicitando al presidente electo Donald Trump por su contundente victoria.
First, I would like to begin by congratulating President-elect Donald Trump on his resounding victory.
Por la remontada política más grande de la historia, enfrentando a todo el establishment político, incluso poniendo en riesgo su propia vida.
This has been the greatest political comeback in history, defying the entire political establishment, even at the risk of his own life.
Y gracias a ello, hoy el mundo es un mundo mucho mejor, porque hoy soplan vientos de libertad, soplan muchísimo más fuerte.
And thanks to this, today the world is a much better place. Today the winds of freedom are blowing much stronger.
Un verdadero milagro y prueba fehaciente que las fuerzas del cielo están de nuestro lado.
A true miracle and proof positive that the forces of heaven are on our side.
En 1848, Marx comenzó aquel panfleto siniestro que fue su manifiesto comunista, diciendo que un fantasma recorría Europa, el fantasma del comunismo.
In 1848, Marx began that sinister pamphlet, his Communist Manifesto, with the phrase, "A spectre is haunting Europe, the spectre of communism."
Hoy, un fantasma distinto recorre el mundo, el fantasma de la libertad.
Today, a different type of spirit is traversing the world, the spirit of freedom.
I'm not intimidated by the...
All right, so we're going to get to RFK Jr. here. So Javier Milei got to speak at Trump's event and basically is talking about how Trump is going to save the world, which tomorrow I'm sure the networks are going to trash and everything, but they can't trash Milei's success. He has turned Argentina into an economic success. They were broke. They were upside down. And now, just by using the same principles that Trump is going to use, along with Elon and Vivek, he was able to completely right the ship. Obviously, Argentina is a lot smaller of a country than the United States, but in any event, why wouldn't the same measures that he could apply or that Elon could apply work here? Especially if everybody wants to quit. If everybody wants to quit, it's going to be made easy. I'm sitting here amazed that there have been, and I'm looking on Twitter right now, 116,000 posts. It is the #1 trend on Twitter, quitting. Quit. I mean, when you see this kind of stuff, and it says, FDA employees consider how to handle RFK Jr., including leaving. They're all talking about quitting. Why? Why do you all want to quit now? The man just he hasn't even been approved, and you're all talking about quitting. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense to any people here who are seeing you guys go absolutely nuts. Except maybe it does make sense. Maybe because you've been doing some stuff so badly, and you've been cheating and doing some crazy stuff, that you're afraid what's going to get caught, what's going to get exposed. So just like Trump had been talking about people self-deporting, if y'all want to quit, go ahead. Don't know why. So let's continue with RFK Jr. here. Hopefully he doesn't get too far where I don't have to mute anything, because they don't like when RFK Jr. talks. Let's listen.
Agencies. I know how they work, and I know how to change them. And most of those changes you do not need Congress for. The President Trump could have done it, had the power
to... Did you hear that? Most of the changes that he plans on doing, we don't need Congress for. These people have indeed game planned this. They know exactly what they can and can't do and who they need to talk to in Congress. That wasn't by accident that he just said that.
do it himself, and President Biden has the power to do it himself. And I'll give you an example. With a stroke of the pen, you can change back the rule that allows pharmaceutical advertisers to do direct-to-consumer ads on television. That's one of the big problems. That's why one of the reasons we have this entrenched agency capture, not only of Congress, because they control the airwaves, they control the evening news. 75% of the revenues for those evening news shows for, Anderson Cooper is coming from Pfizer and other pharmaceutical companies.
75%. So where is that tweet that I put up earlier that he's going to go after them with RICO and those things? I don't have it anymore. 75% of the revenues to these networks is coming from the people that they're going to go try and take down. Which means if 75% of their revenue is coming from pharmaceuticals, and they say, with, quote, a stroke of a pen, you're no longer allowed to do that. Instantly, CNN, MSNBC, all the networks lose 75% of their revenue that day. You get that? Okay.
So, and those companies are dictating content on those shows, and they dictate the official narratives. And they're able then to exercise huge control over Congress. So Congress is terrified of them. But with a stroke of the pen, you can say this is not good for the health of our country, which it isn't. We spend 3 times more than any other country for pharmaceutical drugs because of all this advertising. And we have the worst health outcomes of any, I think we're 79th in the world.
Now, I want you just to envision that they announced tonight. Let me find that tweet again. I had it up here. But now hearing what he's saying, I want you to just imagine what they are planning. I showed you their stock prices, and I showed you what they were doing. Let me see if I can find that again. I probably can't at this point. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that. So I just want you to imagine if Trump can get in and can indeed, with the stroke of his pen, say you're not allowed to advertise on television anymore, which was done with cigarettes. Cigarettes can't advertise on television. So imagine he does that. I'm trying to find that tweet that I showed you earlier. I can't find it right now. But just imagine that happens. If he can do that, if he can truly basically do that and have Trump just with a stroke of his pen tell these people you're no longer allowed to advertise on television. Don't need congressional approval for that. 75% of the television network's revenue are gone. He better get some good security.
In health outcomes, because there's only rule that allow pharmaceutical advertising on TV. One is New Zealand, the other is U.S. Adopt that overnight as president. Another thing that I can do is I can open up all the databases. Right now, all the databases that you can actually check the efficacy and the safety of vaccines, like the vaccine safety database.
Now they don't like this stuff for some reason. This is all he's talking about is accessing the database. He's not talking about whether or not well, let me try to get through this.
It's the top. It's all the vaccine records and the medical claims for 10 million Americans from the top 10 HMOs. Oh, you can look in there, and overnight you can say, oh, this vaccine is associated with diabetes, this one's associated with peanut allergies, this one's associated with ASD, neurological tics, or whatever. That database, CDC keeps it in a lockbox, like Fort Knox, and makes sure no scientist is allowed in there.
And now he's got the keys to it. Move your money out of pharmaceuticals. I'm just telling you. I'm not a financial advisor, but You see what's coming.
Well, I'll open up that database on day one.
Oh, oh, good Lord.
And, I'll also, I'll bring all the medical journals, the New England Journal of Medicine, the Lancet, JAMA, into the Justice Department as soon as I appoint an AG. And I'll say to them, you guys are...
Did you hear that? Anybody else hear that? Oh, this is when he was running for president, but he still plans on doing it now. Okay, so when he said this must have been filmed when he was running for president as soon as he appoints an AG. But everything that he just said was announced tonight that he's going to be doing all this stuff.
Part of a racketeering syndicate. You're collaborating with these pharmaceutical industry, lie to the American public about the efficacy and safety of these products, and you're causing enormous harm, and we are going to sue you both civilly for damages, and we're going to sue you criminally unless you come up with a plan right now as to how you're going to stop doing that. So I have 100 things that I'm going to do immediately to unravel the agency capture.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that real quick. The one I talked about earlier, because OMG, that is absolutely phenomenal. That is crazy. Seeing if I can find that tweet from earlier. I think I can. Okay, here, I found it. And here we go. All right, so this was from today at 4:19 p.m. right after he was announced. So that video was when he was still running for presidency. Now that he's been announced and nominated, RFK Jr. reveals that President Trump's DOJ will launch RICO investigations and prosecute the collusion between medical boards, medical journals, and Big Pharma, just as he was outlining in that video. Wow. Unbelievable. There was a time that Pharma couldn't be on TV. Yeah, I wonder when that happened. When did they change it? He needs to be protected really bad. All of them do. Yeah. This is huge. There wasn't any drug commercials when I was on a little on TV. Nope. They just started. It was so much money. I guess they talked people into it. Elon knows where the action is. Bobby needs Secret Service protection again. He'll get it now. That's for sure. Trump said in his last State of the Union that the cure for that disease was close, from what I recall. RFK Jr. as HHS is non-negotiable. Oh man, this is about to get really, really crazy. I think you guys understand where this stuff is headed. Trump let the dogs out. He did. He definitely let the dogs out. That is for sure. The dogs are out and they're hunting. They're hunting. So I want to play you before we go. I don't want to keep you guys all night. We're going to play a video that was basically it was Will Cain. And on the Will Cain show, which was different than other things I had heard, this is Senator Tommy Tuberville talking about Matt Gaetz. So you guys need to check this out, because it's not as bad as we all probably thought. But anyway, listen to this.
The implication is that Gaetz would get the most pushback as Attorney General.
Well, first of all, you got to remember, about 90% of the people up are what? They're lawyers, okay? I got one football coach. We got a few business people up here, but most of them are lawyers. And they know better than everybody else what a good lawyer is, right? So when I first got here, we had AG that come across our desk, okay, Merrick Garland. Is he any good? Oh, man, he's got a lot of experience. We had 20 Republicans that voted to confirm him, along with the 50-something Democrats, okay? We had 20. The worst AG in the history of this country went against the Constitution. He went after parents that were trying to say, hey, listen, we control our kids. don't be teaching them stuff at schools. He went after them. He tried to arrest Donald Trump. He tried to put him in jail. And we had 20 people voted for him, and they don't like Matt Gaetz, who's smart as anybody up here. He's been on the Judiciary Committee for 7 years. He is perfect for this job. He's a millennial that will work as hard as President Trump, and that's hard to do because President Trump works about 20 hours a day. And Matt Gaetz should be confirmed. Now, we'll have some of these know-it-alls up here on the Republican side that say, he's had problems in the past. Prove it. If you can prove it, fine, I won't vote for him. But I'm tired of hearing these people complain about, he's got ethics rules over in the House. 4 years they've looked into it, Will, and they ain't proved a dang thing. And so let's go on with this and give President Trump the players that he needs to run this team.
He ain't proved a dang thing. I love how Southern people talk. That's why I married a Southern woman. So, if 20 senators voted to approve, 20 Republican senators voted to approve Merrick Garland, and all of the Democrats, which they always do, they always stay in lockstep. You're never going to see any division with the Democrats. 20 Republicans said, yeah, Merrick Garland, that's our guy. And now you've got people who are saying 10 Republicans that won't vote for Matt Gaetz. Why? Are they from the Tim Scott wing? See, these are the people that worry me, because to me, I think that people have skeletons in their closets. They're not playing ball the right way. There's something really wrong that the Republicans, after seeing the scoreboard, a complete landslide. You got the House, the Senate, and the White House. A mandate. And you're hedging? Isn't that suspect to you? Why wouldn't you guys be all high-fiving each other going, hell yeah, boom, let's do it. We're going to make this work. We're gonna own this place. And instead, we got people going, this Matt Gaetz guy. Oh, no. Why? What do you people have? What kind of skeletons are basically hiding out that you don't want people to see? But even worse than that, because now, just like with the people who said they're quitting, all these people were saying we're quitting, the FDA, and we're going to quit the HHS, and we're going to quit this and quit that. You're letting people know there's a problem. So every one of these senators who are talking about not voting for Matt Gaetz, you realize you've just put targets on your back. There has to be a reason why you don't want to vote for Matt Gaetz. There has to be something back there. There's some fire behind the smoke why you are letting the Democrats beat up on you. Anybody can see that at this point. Why would you have any problem? You're a Republican, you're a Republican. Your guy just won a huge landslide victory. Why would you not support this guy? Why do you have a problem with Pete Hegseth? He doesn't wear a dress. It tells me, without knowing anything about you, that you're compromised. Or at least it tells me you could be compromised. Because there's no reason for you to be distancing yourself from Matt Gaetz or Pete Hegseth or even Tulsi Gabbard. You're full of crap. Now you're on my radar. And I'm pretty sure at this point you're on Trump's radar. That's why they had to have the secret ballot. They couldn't just come out and say, yay, nay. They had to have a secret ballot where nobody knew who was voting for the majority leader. So right off the bat, Trump had to sit back, and he probably gamed it out and said, okay, so they're having a secret ballot. That tells me we got a lot of snakes in the grass here. Let's find out who these snakes are. And not even 24 hours later, Tim Scott goes, hey, I'm one of them, boss. What were you thinking, man? Of all the different people you could pick, you send a signal to Trump that you're a Judas by picking Mike Pence. Mike Pence's guy. You couldn't have been sending any clearer of a message. So now it's game on. Now I hope that Trump and Elon and everybody else there, Jay, I hope you guys can do whatever you want to do. I hope you rip these people a new butthole. I hope you just destroy them. I hope at this point all bets are off, and it's a bare knuckles fight at this point. You want to take on the guy who got shot and survived and won a landslide? You want to be that guy? Okay, big guy. Okay. We're going to see what happens. I think you guys all agree that was the stupidest move ever by Tim Scott. You now have just painted a big old crosshairs on you. Can't trust you. I wouldn't want to be somebody that Trump feels he can't trust. But thanks for self-identifying, because now we know. Why are the 3 Republicans who refuse to support Gaetz? 3? I heard. Who are the? Yeah, there's 10 of them, from what I understand. 10. Rhinos are nothing but a bunch of Trojan horses put in by the international cabal to destabilize the progression of America. At this point, it doesn't make any sense. Let's see here. It's biblical, people. Okay. I don't know who Vance voted for. Vance probably went with Rick Scott, but yeah, we don't know. He said he was going to vote for Rick Scott. Good question. Question is, why do they feel so confident to blurt it out in the open that who they stand with right now? That's a good question. They must feel bulletproof. That can only be the answer that makes any sense. At this point, they have played the game so long, think about it. They really don't know what they're up against. They know this bad people, this cabal. They know what these people can do. And what they're hoping here is these guys aren't as bad as these guys. And the lesser of two evils. I need to appease these guys instead of these guys. So you've chosen your side. I mean, and probably they were told to get out there in public. Tim Scott was probably directed, get out there. Dance. Yeah, all these lists, I can't say the words, but all these lists that are you just heard just imagine RFK Jr. getting approved, or not approved, or recessed, whatever they want to do, and him saying on day one, hey, boss, go ahead and sign this. What's that? We're going to just make them not be able to use any money on ads. That would effectively destroy the media. I mean, nobody's watching them anyway, but that would definitely be... I always wondered, I'm like, how can they still be on? How can they still be functioning as a business when nobody's freaking watching them? Now I know 75% of their revenue comes from Big Pharma. So you want to make these news networks poop the bed? Take away 75% of their revenue. That's in one day. No wonder they're freaking out at CNN and laughing on MSNBC. Wow. Think about that. The fall of the cabal. We're sitting in the middle of it. So be prepared. OMG. Yeah, think about that. 75%. Man, that's not small potatoes. That's a lot of freaking money. Rachel Maddow, who makes $20 million, and all these people who make all these millions and millions and millions of dollars. If he indeed can stop the advertising just with his signature, they're effed. They're completely done. Didn't Megyn Kelly say just be able to tell us things himself? Yeah, he don't need them. There's a big list. This is going to be fun. So let me just refresh Trump, make sure that after the party he didn't go upstairs and give Melania a kiss and decide he was going to launch something else. And no, so nothing else tonight. So we're good. We're good in that regard. And I can go get some ice cream and walk the dog and get ready to go to bed. And you guys, I can thank you for coming on a late night stream for Insomniacs. And let me go ahead and talk to people here before I do that, let me do this. What I want to do is invite you guys to join our free private group on X, which is probably still going strong. People post there all night long. Fanfareshop.org/group. I'm up late, so I'll be the one. I'll probably look at approving a lot of people as they get in. So fanfareshop.org. And do me a favor, or do yourself a favor, go ahead and register to win a hoodie. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on the evening show, I'll be giving away 5 hoodies. 5. All right. F. Joe Biden. God forbid a corporal is now in charge of the whole entire United States Armed Forces. Let's go, Pete. I never served, but I can't even imagine. Isaac Stillman, thank you. They're against him. Evil loves darkness. Trump is bringing the light, and they can't have that deed known. Yeah, I agree with that. Jeremiah Kerr. 2 things for Jeremiah. Thank you. At the end of the last show, I cut off early, and then they, SV sent me a picture that you posted a super chat. So thank you for that. They're against him because, where are we? The American political landscape is busted. Yeah, that's true. Pete Larson, first time watching live. I'll be back. Great info. Thank you. Thank you very much. And this was our late night show, so I didn't really have time to do as much editing because we just got off our prayer meeting. Dustin Robinson, thank you. Oh yeah, somebody put it in here. Anderson Cooper makes $20 million a year. Can you imagine? Can you imagine these people get that kind of money just to sit up there and say stupid shit? It's insane. Absolutely insane. Let's see what I got here. Tommy Radcliffe, the guitarist. The great Mark Levin says, subsection of Section 2, X reference with other sections, allow appointments without approval by grace of POTUS position clause. We got a fight coming. We have a fight. And that's why I know that he brought on those Supreme Court solicitors. Nicholas Lamonicus, oil fields to strawberry fields forever. Let me go here to Shahzad Morgan. Iran isn't trying to kill Trump. That's propaganda to incite war with Iran. Good point. Maybe that's what the meeting with Iran was. You guys really trying to take out Trump? No, sir. No, sir. Not us. Not us. It's Americans trying to use our say we did it. That would be very interesting. Very interesting if they found out that's what was happening. Thank you, Shaharzad. Thank you. Deborah Bailey, thank you, Barry, for vetting your info. Thank you very much. Jeremiah Kerrigan, Elon goes where the money is. He's no fool. He's a bag man. So what you're saying is Elon's a bag man. He travels with Trump. You can get the bag, bro. Get the bag. Will Smith. Hi, Barry. Trucker having to watch a little behind live. I travel the Northwest with your words and knowledge blasting from the speakers in my truck. I appreciate it. I appreciate you for listening. Stay safe on the road out there, especially if it's getting icy and cold. Chanta says, I'd like to know too, Barry, why Elon is a Trump always with him. It's kind of getting interesting now. I mean, we're talking 10 days later. But somehow he flew up to meet with the Iranians, and then he probably flew back down to Palm Beach. Rasan Hunter, great work, Barry. This is going to be one hell of a fight. We all need to be on the right side of history and have Trump's back in this fight. And continue to be vigilant. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how desperate people are going to go. I've said it before. Make sure you've got water and food and can exist, because this darkness to light, evil against good fight could be really bad. They should have let him win 2020. They messed up giving him 4 years to plan and prepare. Yeah, he knows everything now. F. Joe Biden again. Even if Matt doesn't get AG, he'll get a Senate seat. Yeah, probably. Caroline Miller, thank you. Have you heard Obama and spouse have left the country? Yes, I did hear that. I have not been able to confirm, but I heard that Obama and Michelle Obama and Tom Hanks all left the country. That's what I've heard. I have not been able to verify, nor would I be able to. I don't have their tail numbers of their planes. Whilst I was disappointed in Tim Scott, I thought he was a good guy. Boy, was I wrong. Somebody got to him. Claire Butterfield, very thankful you have a backbone. I will always continue to have a backbone. Sonny says Pfizer in 2021 had $81 billion in revenue. In 2022, they had $100 billion in revenue. So $75 million in ads from one company wouldn't have been a drop in a bucket. Jeremiah Kerr, don't be disappointed in any politician. Know who we are dealing with. I just thought he was a better dude than that. He traveled with Trump. He was campaigning, and then all of a sudden, that's how you are, dude? That's how you are? It disgusted me. Not disappointed, it disgusts me. Nicholas Lamonicus again. In exciting times, Barry, lots of waste in the government. People are lying, making big bucks, and poisoning us. In my job at Social Security, we help the public. That was the back in the day. That's what people used to do. Put the brakes on, Jeremiah, put the brakes on your comfortable position in American ideals. That's over with. We're led by pioneers. Time to wake up, my favorite. Thank you. Time to work. Yeah, we got to come together. Mike Aranda, make your transformer agenda. Stay away from the kids. Absolutely. Jeremiah again. Thank you, Jeremiah. Stop groupthink. Expand your mind. Agreed. Ray Hughes, Deep State is addicted to regulator capture. Interesting there. Interesting. Leon Combs, I hear Depend sales are about to go up. Yeah, I would take your money out of pharmaceuticals and then put it in Depends. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Watch that tomorrow. You guys want to see something on a wild ride. There'll be some people who are trying to make a quick buck. They'll probably try to get in and take some quick profits. But just look at Pfizer and Moderna tomorrow. That would be very interesting for you guys to watch. And, you know, I don't have the confidence to get in on something like, because I still think it's going to slide more. Jewels of the Garden, you think they're panicking about Matt Gaetz? Imagine the mental health crisis nominating a cabinet position to Marjorie Taylor Greene would cause. He should. Definitely should. Michael Nace, love you, Barry. Winning rocks. Thank you very much. Got two more here. U.S. Executive Services, read carefully. There's a message in every Trump appointment. Read carefully. He says United States Republic. He never says United States of America. Interesting. Let me see if that's... I'm looking at the last one to see if he said that. Very interesting you said that. I'm going to have to check that out tomorrow and go through all that. And then we have just another knucklehead one more time. Who do you like in Mike Tyson fight tomorrow? It's an exhibition. They're going to fool around for a couple rounds. I would think that Mike Tyson would win so that they can have a rematch and make another gazillion dollars. That's just my feeling. I could be wrong. I don't think they're either. You watch them hold each other for like round after round, just like so nobody gets hurt. Then you'll know it's just a fix. Anyway, thank you guys very much for the late night insomnia version of Fanfare. Talk to you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thank you very much. Get some rest. Thank you.